What freaking year is it? I feel like I'm like 14, 15. We're drinking like too many energy drinks and thinking we're really cool. Like, what year is it? What's up, you cool kids of the internet? Mark with Cardivox Academy here, and today we are talking about Electric Callboy featuring Conquer Divide. The song is called Fuckboy, which, like, hey, it's Electric Callboy. The memes are strong, so perhaps, you know, it should be of no surprise. But we're gonna check it out today. It's gonna be a lot of fun. If you're new to the channel, my name is Mark. I am a metal vocalist myself. I'm in a band called Kardashev. We just released a full-length album via Metal Blade Records on June 10th. It's called Liminal Right. Check it out. It sounds nothing like Electric Callboy at all. But I don't know. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll like hearing what we put out. And I take the reaction format on this channel and I break it down and I focus on making it educational because I myself am a vocal coach. I specialize predominantly in teaching people how to make harsh vocal sounds. So all of this sort of like types of stuff. But, you know, Electric Callboy, even though it's a little different from that, there usually is a little bit of a crossover for us to talk about and it's fun. So let's go ahead and do it. Now, I'm kind of interested to hear Electric Callboy. They do a lot of collabs, right? They did a collab with We Butter the Bread with Butter. And then we've got this collab with Conquer Divide and a bunch of other people. I mean, there was the whole Hypa thing where we got many versions of that song. Did we need them all? I don't know, but we got them. So today we're going to have another collab. Interested to see what this sounds like since it came out literally yesterday or today, very recently. I don't know. That's enough. Let's go ahead. Let's check out Fuckboy by Electric Callboy featuring Conquer Divide. Here we go.
I'm in love with the morning light. Feel it deep inside. My day, my time, my way. But you never stay for the night. You don't know me like one day I wish you would. Yeah, everybody thinks that I'm just a fuckboy. Cause I know that you think that I'm just a fuckboy. I know that I don't have any good reputation.
All right, so far this is definitely a lot different than I expected. It's very, very much not as memey as their other music. I'm gonna hold off on talking about any vocal stuff just yet because the song still kind of needs some time to develop. But just kind of the basics so far. We've got a poppy frontal tone, kind of airy, kind of loose. This is sounding very like 2005. Like, am I 15 again? Like, interesting. All right, let's keep going.
Do you want to be my way out of this situation? But I really want to know that you want me. I really want to show that I'm worth it. Cause I know I'm better, I'm good for you. Yeah, everybody thinks that I'm just a fuckboy. Cause I know that you think that I'm just a fuckboy.
Okay, well, that was a good time to pause. Did I just hear the Millennial Whoop? Like, what? What? What year is it? Okay, so for those who are unaware, the Millennial Whoop was, it's that like ba-dum sound that like Katy Perry did. Like, it was all over the place on the radio, like 2010 through 2018, right? Which is so funny because that's not that long ago, right? That's not that long ago. And like people were mad about the Millennial Whoop. There were videos about like the Millennial Whoop is killing pop music and all this stuff. And I never had any strong feelings about it, but I certainly never thought I would hear it again. Maybe it's still around and I'm just really checked out. Okay, so let's talk a little bit of vocal technique because that's the thing. Although this song so far is purely a nostalgia trip. I feel like I heard some screams layered in the back really, really quietly, almost to the point where like, I'm not sure if I heard them. Maybe that was just my hopeful ear listening for something. But if you want to kind of understand what frontal resonance feels like, because that's where a lot of this singing is taking place. It's taking place in the front of the face. And he's doing kind of, especially when we get into the chorus, more projected, kind of inching closer to belting territory. And if you want to feel this, right, what you can do to feel the difference between frontal resonance and, more palatal or backwards resonance is you can say the word heat, and you feel this buzz on the front of your face. Heat. Now say hot, and you feel it a lot more in the back of your mouth. Now, this is not a hard and fast rule. Genres don't exist generally in black and white binaries, but commonly speaking, pop punk and metalcore and pop anything really has a lot of singing in the front of the face. So you can kind of get this feeling by pretending you've got a mouthful of your favorite food. This is something I do. Granted, I'm not usually teaching my students how to be pop punk singers. I don't get a lot of those. Usually it's deathcore or death metal. But you can kind of get this feeling, by putting your lips together, dropping your jaw, pretending you have a mouthful of your favorite food. You should feel a lot of buzz in the front of your face. Then you can sort of seesaw it up and down. When you get to the top, try saying A or may, I guess it would be. May, hey. That right there is kind of a starting point for a lot of like pop punk and contemporary singing. Past that, you probably would want to work with somebody a little bit more focused and who like actually teaches pop punk. Hey, I'm happy to help you out, but like I said, I'm more death metal. But yeah, that belted like hey, yeah. That's the basis for a lot of this kind of stuff. I'm gonna go back. I believe this singer's name is Kia. I'm gonna go back so we can hear her feature a little bit more. Let's go ahead and check it out. All right, so what freaking year is it? It's funny, I'll say fuckboy, but when I'm actually gonna say the word, I say frickin'. What's that about? Seriously, y'all, like I feel like I'm like 14, 15. I've just snuck off of my high school campus because I went to a very small Christian high school, so we didn't have a lot of freedoms that a lot of the public school kids out there had. So we just snuck off campus. We're like sitting in the parking lot. My one edgy buddy is smoking cigarettes and he's got like the hairdo, right? And he's playing like Paramore, on his speakers, and we're drinking like too many energy drinks and thinking we're really cool because we're teens who drink energy drinks. Like, what year is it? So this is like super, like this reminds me a lot of like, I'm getting like really strong Paramore vibes. Now, I don't want to go as far as to say that they're like ripping off that genre. I think that would be a little bit too much. However, like there had to have been a concerted effort to take us back to the early 2000s. Now, there are some differences here. There are some chunkier riffs, right? There's some chunkier riffs going on than you would have heard, generally speaking. From those types of bands. Also, we have some sort of like in the background synthy sounds going on, a little bit more electronic, which makes sense. A couple things I like about Kia's singing, we can swing it back to technique here, is that she's adding a lot of contrast to her voice, right? Sometimes that can be something that's lost across all genres, especially I'll own it, especially like deathcore and death metal, because the genres are so maximal, right? The techniques are so maximal. Sometimes it's hard to add nuance and contrast. And she's doing a lot of really cool things, such as holding her voice in her chest and then very quickly reaching up for like a quick like heady belt and then coming back down. That's a really good technique. It takes a lot of control. There's a lot of character in her voice as well. In a short space, go back and listen to it. In a short space, she's really playing with a lot of different tone, a lot of different voicing. Again, not so much a lot of stuff that I personally teach, but I can hear it and recognize it and admire it. She's doing a great job. Great job. Again, very much in the front of the voice. Another thing you can do, or front of the face, another thing you can do, this sounds stupid, but a lot of good vocal exercises sound terrible. Another thing you can do is you can kind of like do, I didn't make this one up, this is old school. You can do like a baby cry, right? Like a little, right? Now, when I'm doing that, I'm not squeezing my neck. I'm not squeezing the glottis. A lot of times when people want to add nasal coloring to their voice, they'll squeeze their glottis. But if you squeeze your glottis, you just sound like an anime character, right? And you don't want to do that, right? Well, maybe you do. I wouldn't want to do that for a singing voice, right? But if instead we utilize the tongue, the face, the jaw, we use a wide embouchure, right? You can hold on to that note and ease back on the silliness of it, right? You can change it from being like a baby cry into more of a voice, and you'll start to get a decent workable tone, right? And it's not that hard. It's not that hard to do. Just takes balance, right? Anyways, since this is not as much my specialty, I'm not going to go too in depth. Let's go back a little bit because we had a little bit of a transition here. Like even like the checkered skirt and like the goodness gracious, this, you know, the funny thing is we wrote a whole song about nostalgia, or I'm sorry, a whole album about nostalgia. But at the end of the album, the guy burns a house down with himself inside of it. This may be a more productive way to interact with nostalgia that doesn't involve arson. Let's go back to about here. This is wild.
Shit when no one fucking asked. You know I love to watch your eyes roll back. You had a taste and now you're fiending cause you like that. You fuck around, boy, you should know I'm gonna bite. I don't care what they say cause I need you to stay. Yeah, I want you so bad in all the worst ways. I don't care what they say cause I need you to stay. Yeah, I want you so bad in all the worst ways.
That was really nice. I know I'm probably pausing at a terrible time. You'll all work through it emotionally. But that was a really nice contrast that they did, right? So he came in and he was singing very warmly. And actually, that's kind of something to point out here. So I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean this because they're owning it and they're kind of doing this. But a lot of Electric Callboy's songs are very comedy based, right? There's a bit of a joke to them. I'm not saying that as musicians they're jokes, but the songs have jokes written into them. This song feels a lot more warm, a lot more genuine. Implies their other songs aren't genuine, but whatever. You'll all put it together through context. This one feels a lot more genuine, a lot more warm. And so his warm singing voice with her brighter, higher voice was really nice. He was keeping it more in the chest. Hey, right there, singing a bit more like, I don't know the melody, right? Of course, but hey, yeah, oh, I don't care what they say, something like that, right? Just, I don't know, it just sounded really nice, the two of them together. It was good. Yeah, like look at that warm smile. It's a different tone. Electric Callboy is going for a different tone here. Could that be love in the air? I don't know. Who's to say?
You had a taste and now you're fiending cause you like that. You fuck around, boy, you should know I'm gonna bite. I don't care what they say cause I need you to stay. Yeah, I want you so bad in all the worst ways. I don't care what they say cause I need you to stay. Yeah, I want you so bad in all the worst ways. Yeah, everybody says that I'm just a fuckboy. No matter what they say, I wanna be with you. Cause I know that you think that I'm just a fuckboy. So baby, tell me lies cause I don't need the truth. Give me something to say cause I need you to stay. Yeah, I want you so bad in all the worst ways. Yeah, everybody thinks that I'm just a fuckboy. So come here cause I don't give a fuck, boy.
All right, so hey, like, listen, we all just got out of class, and my one friend with a car loaded us all up, and we're gonna go back to his house, and I'll chat on AOL or MSN. We're probably gonna watch TRL, even though only a couple of us like it, but it's cool and it's hip. And then if you guys want to have a Guitar Hero tournament, I'm totally down for it. Also, this really weird game just dropped. It's called World of Warcraft. It's probably dumb, but I'm gonna try it. It just came out like a week ago. Like, what fucking year is it? Right? That's wild. Okay, so a couple cool things. Yeah, compositionally, they did a good job. Right? I will openly say that this isn't really like my type of music. Like, I don't know if like I would put it on my playlist. But I admire what they're doing. I admire what they're putting together. And they're doing very well. I love the bright forward singing placement. I love the contrast, especially from, again, I think her name is Kia. I think I enjoyed her voice. I think she kind of stole the show in a way. Her moving from chest to head, doing these quick back and forth like belts to a softer voice. Anyways, less my wheelhouse, so I don't have a whole lot of like in-depth stuff for you, but good song. I like it. For all of you who like this is your jam, I'm really glad that this released for you. This can be your new summer jam. As we all know, summer jams are important. But that's it. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It means a lot. We do have a Patreon where we do all sorts of cool stuff. We're actually going to have our listening party tonight in a couple hours. We're going to be listening to a bunch of music together. Sometimes we play games. Sometimes we just listen to new music. So it all just kind of depends on where we take it. But thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you all. And as always, many thanks. Much love. I'm out. I got jelly beans in my pocket. What the hell? Guess I was eating some jelly beans. I don't know.